Yo, what's going on, party people? Listen, I was getting ready to record my latest YouTube video, but I figured, why not actually just bring you into that process with me and kind of give you a behind the scenes look at, how I get it from out of my mind to you actually seeing what you're seeing on screen. So let's go ahead and jump into the video, give you kind of a behind the scenes of how I record my YouTube videos. And this may actually help you as you're on your YouTube journey. All right, so one of the biggest things I see when it comes to YouTube or content creation in general that most people focus on is the gear. But a lot of people miss out on the idea and the inception of the idea and how we make it actually come to life. So like, Walt, where do you get the ideas to create your videos? Well, I get them from a couple of places. A lot of times I pay attention to my audience. I always teach that, your content is in the comments. Your content is in the comments. Well, let's just say, for instance, you haven't posted a video before. So where do these comments come from? They come from the communities that you are already a member in. So that's kind of a tip for you that are looking to get started. You need to embed yourself in the communities around the topics and the content that you want to create. So if you're into gear, cameras, lighting, different things like that, you need to find people who already have communities established, or they have channels, or they may have YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook pages, whatever, already dedicated to those things, and embed yourself in those communities and start having conversations. And what you will notice, people are asking questions, people have opinions that either may resonate with you or you may have an opinion about, and those are things you can start to create content on. For those of you like myself who may be already creating content and your content answers specific questions, what happens is you base your content based off the questions that your audience is asking. So when it comes to ideation, when I'm trying to figure out, hey, what is my next video gonna be? I kind of have this already mapped out. Every now and then I'll jump to something else, but I kind of let my audience dictate that, because there are a lot of things that I would love to talk about, but because I want to be successful at what I'm doing, I make sure that I'm creating content that is actually going to keep my audience at the forefront. Another tip regarding your YouTube page and your content creation journey, whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, you want to pay attention to your audience. You want to pay attention to your audience. I did a video last week, kind of a live, talking about you want to learn the language that your audience speaks. You want to be able to speak that same language. Once you learn their language, you understand what they have an appetite for. So you understand how to create a content strategy that's going to properly feed them the things that they desire to eat and have an appetite for, and not just the things that you want to talk about. So the number one thing when I'm getting ready to shoot a video, it's not even turning on the camera, it's not even turning on the microphone or the lights. It's the ideation and just figuring out, okay, number one, what is it that we're going to talk about? All right, so after we have the big idea and the concept figured out, the next thing I do is we go to scripting. Walt, you script your videos? Like, I script everything. I don't have a teleprompter. So typically 90% of the time, I don't even use the script. The script is always there for me to have, but I love scripting because I love mapping out. I love creating a roadmap for how I'm going to get from pre-roll intro to outro. So how I'm gonna get from ideation of the idea of what I want to talk about to publishing and making it public, so you can see what it is that you're seeing now. So I'll kind of give you an idea of how I script my videos that I actually post here on YouTube. All right, so what you're looking at right now is a copy of my notes. This is an old note, specifically when I did the video on how to connect multiple devices like your phone and a computer at the same time on the Rodecaster Pro 2. So what you'll see, I'll script everything out literally like almost word for word, kind of as a playback in my mind. And that also helps with retention as well. So that's a quick tip for those of you who find yourself hitting, play, record, pause, play, record, pause, or record, pause, play, whatever order that goes in. If you're not one of those people that's just going to hit record and keep going and have to do all that cutting later, this helps out a lot. So you can see I always do my pre-roll there, and then I have the context. I'm one of those people, I'm always going to give you context and give you the application of how I specifically use a product or a software. And then, it's like kind of writing a paper. Here go my breakdown. These are my 3 points. So I know the first thing I'm going to talk about is how to connect it to, your computer through the first USB. I'm also going to talk about later how you connect it to the phone with USB or Bluetooth. We're going to mention mix minus. If I needed any B-roll, I would make a section for that as well. Computer, how you connect it to USB to, and then my close and my outro. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I script pretty much all of my videos, and that helps me. 90% of the time, I never use the script, but again, I'm technically using the script in my mind, because once I've scripted this out, I have no problem being able to retain that information once I press record. And a lot of times you see that come through on camera as if I'm using a teleprompter, and I do not personally own a teleprompter. After I've scripted everything, then that's when we start to get in the tech and the gear. The beautiful thing about having your own space is the equipment stays there. When you get in, you just turn on the switch and you press record. I think one of the most difficult things that content creators run into is they get so hyped about creating something, but if you have to go through this process of setting up because you don't necessarily have, the benefit of having your own space or your own corner or a dedicated chair or desk or something where you can create, by the time you set up everything, you probably don't really want to shoot the information anymore. So the beautiful thing, I have everything already set up. So I'll drop the link to everything I'm getting ready to mention in the description. Most of you, if you follow me, you already know what I'm getting ready to tell you. At the core of everything, we have the Sony ZV-E10. That's the camera that I'm using. The lens I'm using is the Sigma 16 millimeter with the aperture of f1.4. I'm shooting at 1.8. Never necessarily shoot wide open, but that's what we have going on in terms of that. I have the camera actually running. The way I get the camera into the computer, I'm going to show you that in a second, is through an Elgato Camlink 4K. Elgato Camlink 4K. That allows me to convert my Sony ZV-E10 into a webcam. You can actually do it through USB-C. However, I prefer the full 4K quality, so I'm actually running a micro HDMI adapter out of the Sony ZV-E10, going to an HDMI cable, going into the Elgato Camlink 4K. All right. As far as audio, I got the Shure MV7X. Shure MV7X. This is the companion to the Shure MV7. The MV7 has USB and XLR. This is just the XLR version. This is going into the Rodecaster Pro 2. The Rodecaster Pro 2 connected to my iMac, and that's connected by USB. So all of my audio, any background music, any sound effects that I decide to do, unless I do it in post, especially when I'm live streaming, all of that happens in the Rodecaster Pro 2. I've got above me, as far as a key light, I have a Godox SL60W. Or 60 SL, I never get that right. Whatever that is, I have that as a key light. Over here, I have the LED strip on my TV. And what that kind of serves, the TV it adds something to the background. It also serves a purpose as far as creating a little bit of separation from me and the background as well. Over here, you kind of see I've got this little practical light. That right there, that's a practical light back there, what we call practical lighting. That's just a lamp, and it's a lamp I'm able to control by Wi-Fi, Bluetooth on the phone. And then I have this blue light. So you see, we kind of have the contrast. I have some red going on over here, and I have another blue light, RGB pocket light going on over here, just kind of casting that blue. And you can't really tell, but over here, I have a very small rim light from another one of my pocket RGB cinema lights or whatever. And that's pretty much it. I come in, I click a button, I turn on everything, and I press record. And then all of that runs into my favorite software ever, Ecamm Live. So no, I'm not using SD cards unless I got to shoot B-roll or anything like that. I'm not using SD cards. I do everything on the computer. So I'm recording everything right to the machine. I'm recording right in Ecamm Live. I'll show you what that looks like for those of you who have never seen it before. All right, so real quickly, this is kind of what we call live demo mode. So this is a behind the scenes look of, I don't even know why I'm looking at myself in the screen, but this is a look at Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live. Now, Ecamm Live started out as pretty much a live streaming software for Apple. Now, it still is only for Apple, and one of the primary things people use it for is live streaming. but I've done this for podcasting. I've used this for live streaming. I use this to record reels. I use this to record every single YouTube video that you see posted to my channel, and I absolutely love it. Just to give you kind of a behind the scenes look, I'll post up here in the info card, either here or there, wherever YouTube decides to put that. Now, if you want to take a deeper dive into Ecamm, I have done a couple of videos about that specifically, and I'll mention some other channels. Shout out to my Ecamm fam, absolutely best software company in the world, in my opinion. But you can see here, clearly you see my beautiful face here, but you have your sound levels. You can see I have the Rodecaster Pro 2. You know, I'm able to select any of the microphones that I have currently connected, any of the audio sources that I have connected to my computer. So Rodecaster Pro 2, we got the main multi-track going in there. If I was to play a video, yes, you can play videos in Ecamm. You know, that's going to determine that. Sound effects, you can see over here, I've got some options. And then you're able to, you know, add your own music as sound effects or whatever. So you kind of have an all-in-one solution. Real dope. And then system audio, I don't use system audio because I'm using the Rodecaster Pro 2, but if I didn't have the Rodecaster Pro 2 and say I wanted to bring in some audio specifically from the computer, boom, there you go right there. We have scenes. All right, so I've set up, I have, clearly you can see I have a bunch of scenes going on here. If you've seen any of my live streams, you know kind of how that goes, and for each scene you set up the overlays, you know, and so overlays that allows you to add like graphic overlays. I'm able to overlay things like countdown, pictures, text. I can bring in other video sources, GIFs, all these different crazy things you can do. I have my camera effects over here, so if I want to bring in a LUT specifically with a picture profile that I may be using, you can see there showing the Camlink 4K. You can see I'm recording, you know, in full 4K green screen. If I want to change the zoom, the pan, the composition of the shot, I can do all of that. Like I said, the picture settings, or if I want to upload a LUT, I can get that done as well. And I've already showed you the sound effects. Like I said, live streaming, if I want to bring in, if I was actually live and I wanted to bring up, you know, if I had interview mode on and I turned on interview mode, and that's going to allow me to actually bring in my guests. So you can see here, you know, that's set up, you know, green room, all that different types of things. We don't need that. Boom, let's get out of that. What else can I show you? If we were live and I wanted comments and different things like that, if this was a live stream, you would see all of your comments pop in here. So Ecamm is just, it's great. It's an absolute beast. I know that was kind of real quick look at what Ecamm does, but again, I dropped the link to all the information, whether I'm talking about the products or whether I'm talking about the software, in the description. Make sure you pay attention to that, or you can simply go in the info card if you want to find out more information specifically about Ecamm Live. Use my link to give yourself a 14-day free trial. I promise you it'll be the best decision that you ever made. It's not free, but it's worth every penny, and it's paid for itself 1,000,000 times over. So click that link, get yourself a free trial today. Check out Ecamm Live. There is one thing extra now that we're talking about Ecamm that I wanted to show you, and I think this is really my secret sauce. When I talked about ideation, when I talked about script, what you're looking at here is the folder. So anytime I get ready to record a video, I just create a new folder. Like this one I named How to Record a YouTube Video. And then based off my script, I already have an idea of what my breakdown is going to be. So I know I'm going to do the pre-roll. I know I'm probably going to do an intro. I'm going to have context, all those different types of things. This one in particular, I'm not doing the intro. I jump right into the video. So we jump straight into ideation. From there, I talked about script. From there, I talked about gear. And personally, what that allows me to do is to segment my recordings, all right? Some people, they hit record and they'll just go ahead and record it and have this long file that may be like 30 minutes long. And you can choose to do it that way, and they break it up in post. Me personally, I like to record things in segments. That helps me be clear-minded, focused on that one particular task. So I already know the pre-roll, boom, when I hit it, it kind of like allows me to check it off the sheet. So then I put it in that folder. Ideation, same thing, script. And so every time I record a segment, Ecamm Live pops up, hey, here's your file, because even with your streaming, you can record at the same time, but recording my videos, I'm in record mode, and you see what I have going on here. I'm able to do that. We get that done, boom, I pull it over. Now, I just noticed I'm still in live demo mode, so don't worry about it if this does look kind of redundant or look crazy. But yeah, like I know specifically right now, I'm talking about organization. So what I'm gonna do is create a new folder, and we're gonna title it, because I can't spell, organization. And then that's how I get that done. And then I know the next thing that I'm gonna talk about after this is nothing, because that's pretty much going to be the end of the video. And so the folder, my organization system allows me, especially if, and I also, I'll put in here thumbnail, because I always do a thumbnail. And if I needed any B-roll, I'll put that in there as well. One of the biggest things that helps you create content quicker is when you systemize things. And especially, let's say, for instance, I'm getting to the point now where I want to hand off some of this content to another editor. Well, everything is already organized. I don't have to go figure out where the shots are, this type of thing. Everything is already labeled. I can either Dropbox it or put it on a thumb drive, a flash drive, a portable SSD. Here you go, boom. And they don't have to ask me 1,000 questions. Where this clip, where is that clip? Even for yourself, it pays dividends, and it works very well with you being able to get that done. So that's a pro tip I'm gonna give you, regardless of whether you're creating content for yourself or creating content for a client. Organization will save you so much time and so much headache, and it will also boost your efficiency when it comes to creating content for yourself. Yo, so I really hope that helped somebody figure out, how can I make this less daunting? YouTube can be very intimidating. A lot of people feel like it's too late. A lot of people feel like it's oversaturated. I promise you it's not. All you have to do is put together a system that's going to work for you. If you're interested in learning more about my system, any of the gear that you saw, Ecamm Live, my organization system, let's talk. Drop it down in the comments. How are you recording videos? Did this help? Was this over the top? Was it too much? Or does it, help you kind of put things in perspective, and be like, hey, I like that system. That's something I maybe want to implement. I definitely want to hear from you. Listen, thank you. I don't take it for granted that you're taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. Feel free. I want you to comment more than anything. Hit that like button. Share this with somebody that you know that may benefit them. And while you're here, hit that subscribe button. And while you're ready, go ahead and click that bell so you can be notified every single time I post new content to the channel. But until next time, you guys be easy. Catch you in the next video.